Well, good morning. I'm Van over there making noise. Tony. I'm wearing, if you can see it, my jump start, and we are proudly part of a brand new type. Well, not new type school. It's just an apprenticeship school. Something people did 75 years ago. So we do the construction carpentry class, but they have a thing called the jump start. So I'm showing you the shirt. All right. Today we're in somebody else's kind of backyard. We're going to be doing some removing the door and taking it to another location. In fact, let me take you inside and I'll show you what we're doing. All right. So this door gets removed. All right, and then we're going to have to stud it out, and then drywall. Put our first layer of mud today. And then we got chair rail and we got baseboard that we'll have to continue. Now this door that you see right here, it actually goes over here. So what we have to do is take out this molding so that the door goes in its place right here. Now this is the type door that it came in two parts. Right here is the joint. So what we had to do is go through here and cut off all the finishing nails that they would have used to be able to back off and take it apart and then take it over to where it belongs now. So today we'll get the mud done, our first layer of mud, and then tomorrow Tony will come back and smooth down and put the second coat of mud, and then Jane, the most wonderful painter on this planet, she'll come in and paint. So it's a 3-day thing, but we'll get to work in just a second. We're setting ourselves up now to be able to work so we don't make a mess in here. And the customer's over there, but I ain't gonna show him. Okay, what I'm getting ready to do, while Tony's figuring out the ins and outs of this door, is I'm removing the baseboard and the chair rail so that we can try and take it and go match it at our local hardwood store. And I just discovered that the carpet is actually pieced together. It's tough. Yeah. Just in case you mess up one piece, all you got to do is just remove it and replace it. So that came out pretty easy. Let's see about this one. Alright, so that came out easy too. Alright, so I've got my baseboard and my chair rail that I'll be able to go and match local hardware store.
And you need 8 feet. You need 6 feet. Or 8 feet. You need 4.
Yeah. And what are you saying we need 8 feet? Alright, so we've been able to remove the framework and everything for the door. This is the door, just took it off its hinges. There's the other part of the framework. And we'll have to remove that framework for this to sit in place. So now it's just a matter of cutting out some studs and put the drywall up and do some mudding, and then take all this off right here and put the door in place. So the next step is to stud out this opening, and we decided instead of using our framer, makes a lot of noise, we're going to use screws. Another thing about screws is if you mess up, you can unscrew it and reposition it. So this is how we're studding out now. It's a matter, I'm going to go drag the drywall off the truck, and we're going to start cutting it to size.
Let's get it out there and drive it in. We're going to take a measurement and go out.
We have to knot that up right there.
What's this? No.
Or you
Cut those. Just make it square.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Alright, the stud got put in place. Now we're installing the drywall. Let me step on that.
I'm ready. Makes it easier on me.
Alright, there you go. Alright. So what
Not bad for a bunch of old white guys, huh?
Do what?
Not bad for a bunch of old white guys.
I'll tell you what.
Alright, what he's doing is he's making sure he's just got a dimple that makes it easy to put the mud on that. So you just want a slight little dimple. You don't want it sticking above, and you don't want to go too deep.
Don't want to break the paper.
Yeah, don't want to break the tape. There you go. Go ahead.
I also noticed that I've marked the middle stud top and bottom so that after I put the sheetrock, I know exactly where it is and don't miss anytime I put the screw in.
Now you're going to put a level on it to see where that stud is.
Nope, I'm going to eye it off.
He's going to eyeball it now. A lot of people put a level, put it at plumb so they know where the stud is. But he's just going to eyeball it. In my case,
This ain't my first rodeo.
yeah, my case, my eyes are too old to eyeball it. In order for us to be able to install the door in this location, this molding has to go. So what I'm doing is I'm taking my silver and there's caulking along here, and I'm breaking the caulking. Is what I'm doing, so I can remove all this molding. And so now I'm going to start removing this molding. I'm looking for where they put the nail. That's my point of reference. Alright, what you're looking at is this is like your first skim coat around the opening. Alright, so my local hardware store does not have this chair rail, so I'm on a mission to another hardware store to find the chair rail that hardware store didn't have. But anyway, I'm not mentioning names. Jeez. What you see before you is the original chair rail, okay, which we now may be some kind of casing. But anyway, so I've had to go with this chair rail. Alright, so what I did with this, which is baseboard, alright, so this is our baseboard, which I was able to match the baseboard, alright, so I put a series of different stains because no one quite knows what that one is, and so I then sanded it down with a palm sander, alright, and decided that it is cherry. So now got my first coat of cherry on it, and this looks like it's got semi-gloss on it. So over here is all the different stains that I use to try to match it, right? And so then, like I said, I used my palm sander to kind of sand it down, and then put my first coat of cherry stain on it. All right, so that is the new chair rail. That's what you normally see, is that, and this is a little different chair rail. Not sure how old this building is, but anyway, so I'm getting ready to stain it the same cherry like that. Okay, I have finished putting the stain on. This again is a piece of cherry rail that I put cherry stain on. Now I'm going to take a rag and I'm going to wipe down the excess. If not, it becomes real sticky. So I'm wiping down the... I hope not. Alright, something needs to be pointed out is when you flip these over, okay, you notice that this is more yellow. Okay, that's more yellow. That's a yellow pine and aged, and this is a white pine that's fresh. So that's the reason why we're getting a saturation rate that's a little different. Okay, so just want to point that out. Okay, I have finished putting the stain on. This again is a piece of cherry rail that I put cherry stain on. Now I'm going to take a rag and I'm going to wipe down the excess. If not, it becomes real sticky. So I'm wiping down the excess. So next I can put a polyurethane on it. Yet another helpful hint, when it comes to polyurethane, you never shake the can. Okay, you stir it, but you don't shake it. Now this is a fresh can that's just overflowing like crazy. And this is a semi-gloss, okay? It's a warm semi-gloss polyurethane. Now I'm setting all these shims aside that I'm using for these shims that I've been using for stir sticks and letting them dry out, and we can still use them when we're gonna plumb and level a door or window, something like that. Here we go, let's see what this does. Alright, again, this is the new cherry rail. That is a warm semi-gloss. I am going with the grain. As I go along, I'm also going to do the baseboard. While we're letting this dry, the polyurethane, let's go inside and see what the door looks like now we installed it in the hall. Okay, this is what the mud looks like at this point. Still needs to dry. You got a fan blowing on it, and this is the door that was in the office, which is now in the hallway. So we took it from the office area and put it here. So it looks like it's always been there. This is what the office drywall looks like. Now you can tell by this what is wet and what is dry. And Tony's going to feather it out, but unfortunately it's still wet along the edge, so got to let it dry before you can sand it down. This ends day one on this project in somebody else's backyard. I've just got to let the polyurethane dry just a little bit more on those three items before I can take them inside and store them. Being here in the south, we have thunderstorms that just pop up at any moment, so I can't take a chance on leaving these outside. So when I continue to put stuff up, I'll let those dry enough that I can take them inside.